We're getting a first look inside the halls of Whitehorse Middle School, where an incident between a student and teacher was captured on video.
And how parents and law enforcement in Beloit are trying to combat reckless drivers passing stopped school buses in their neighborhoods.
Plus, a preview of R. Kelly's first TV interview since his arrest. You'll only see it on CBS.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us. The Dane County District Attorney says he will not file criminal charges against the Whitehorse Middle School teacher who is accused of ripping out the braids of an 11-year-old student.
Madison police released their investigative report to us. They interviewed 17 people, all of whom had slightly different accounts of what happened. This is a look at that hallway video. You can see the student and teacher come into the hallway and fall to the ground. According to the police report, the student sprayed too much Febreze in the classroom, which led to a confrontation that escalated quickly. Police interviewed multiple witnesses, including students and teachers, as well as the family involved. After reviewing the surveillance video and conducting interviews of his own, the DA said he does not believe this incident was criminal, which the family says was the wrong call.
It is my job to review all the information and render an opinion based on how the law defines a crime. I have done that. And in this case, I do not believe a crime was committed.
You want your kids to feel safe. You know, you want your kids to feel safe coming into school. This is a place where we expect our kids to be safe, teachers to be keeping our kids safe and things like that. So when situations like this happen, it becomes worrisome a little bit.
It will be up to the Madison School District to decide if any further disciplinary action will be taken against the teacher. And right now, they aren't sure what action they will take.
Our Amy Reed joins us now with what the district and parents are saying. Amy?
Much like the rest of us, the district is unpacking the 80-page police report and the decision by the district attorney not to press charges. And until they can do that, they won't be able to make a call on whether to keep Robert Mueller Owens on staff. But that's not stopping parents from weighing in.
It doesn't send a good message to me, you know, for me as a parent.
Vernon Hill sends his son to Whitehorse Middle School, and while he says his son never had a run-in with Robert Mueller Owens, he's heard stories from others.
With this situation, it does have people, you know, questioning, you know, are we safe here? Are the kids safe here? You know, things like that. So we want to make sure that we put our kids in the right situation and, you know, make sure that they're safe.
Because of that, Hill doesn't believe Mueller Owens should return to the district at all, but the district is still working that out. Today in a statement they said, based on the DA's decision, we will now use all available information from the police reports to understand every fact and take appropriate action. Schools exist to nurture, uplift, and care for students. We must take every action to ensure that's true for every child.
It sounded horrifying, and nobody wants to hear about something bad happening at your children's school.
Shala Warner is a co-chair for Whitehorse's parent-teacher organization. She said the group is still weighing all the facts of what happened at school, but to her, this situation is very out of the ordinary. What's usually more concern is whether teachers are given the resources they need.
There's also concerns about behavior, and is there, you know, are there things going on at the school that are disruptive, that are making it hard to learn, and are teachers being pressed to the limit?
But to Hill, this situation is fairly clear. No matter the question of resources, this is an incident that never should have happened.
You know, I know there's two sides to the story, as always, but as an adult, you got to be able to handle yourself in these kind of situations. You got to have patience dealing with kids. I deal with kids all the time. But I would never want to put my hands on kids. I would never want to act violently towards kids.
Right now, the district does not have a timeline for the decision, but this is certainly a story we'll continue to follow.
Absolutely. Amy Reed reporting. Amy, thank you. An incident at a high school basketball game is serving as a reminder to practice good sportsmanship. This was last Friday, a game between Edgar and Rosholt. This is in northern Wisconsin. After a shot was missed, two opposing players get tangled up on the floor and go to the ground quickly, followed by a punch that is thrown. The referees immediately stopped the game. The players were separated. The Rosholt player was ejected from the game. The WIAA did not comment specifically on that incident.
The bitterly cold temperatures are set to move out. Here's meteorologist Dana Fulton with our first alert forecast. Dana?
We are slowly and steadily waiting for at least a little break in the cold for us, or at least to feel closer to average for the start of March. Here's the last few days for us. So far, we're about 16 degrees below average for the start of March. Each day, though, we've steadily dropped a little more. Today, of course, below average, but at least moving in a better direction for us. This afternoon, we saw high temps in the upper teens. We should have been in the upper 30s, and overnight lows at about 0. Right now, it's close to 8 outside. It feels like we're at 0 with that breeze coming from the west at about 5 miles per hour. 0 for Madison and Janesville right now with our wind chills. It feels a little cooler towards Mineral Point and Platteville. Our Doppler track is calm and quiet. Not expecting anything to move in for us tonight. Just keeping an eye on our temperatures. We'll fall to about 0 to start off the day, and then, of course, steadily warm on up. Our wind chills will fall from anywhere from 0 to -10 early in the morning. The good news, though, with our wind chills, it'll actually be above 0 for us in the afternoon. Slowly and steadily getting better until we get to the weekend. The weekend's our next opportunity for some rain and snow. So we do have the alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. We'll take a closer look at that system in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. A county task force is taking recommendations to address flooding on the Hara chain of lakes. The county board created the task force after last summer's devastating flooding. Tonight, members of the public pitched their ideas and concerns to that task force.
We need to look at a more growing, holistic, landscape-based solutions. These solutions are prioritize infiltration and reducing runoff that address the sources of the root cause of the problems of the water getting into the lake. Then we can also address how it gets out.
Public comments with recommendations for the task force to consider will be accepted through this Friday, March 8th. A Brookfield man is facing charges on suspicion of leaving his house while he was on quarantine for measles.
Waukesha officials say Jeffrey Morawski was infected with measles, was ordered to be in quarantine last spring in order to not put others at risk. He told deputies he was going crazy staying at home, so he went to a Gold's Gym in Waukesha. According to court documents, Morawski and his wife, who drove him, are both now charged with misdemeanors. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner has released the name of the man who was killed when he fell down an elevator shaft yesterday afternoon. 32-year-old Anthony Azarian was working a forklift in a building near 38th and Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Fire Department says he fell 7 floors and was killed. It is still unclear what caused him to fall.
Only on CBS this morning, Gayle King sits down with singer-songwriter R. Kelly for his first TV interview since being charged with sexual abuse last month. He told King the accusations are lies.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it
never
be
held
for
anybody.
R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. Why, how stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense.
You can see the entire interview tomorrow on CBS This Morning, immediately following News 3 Now this morning.
Several people were injured today involved in a 30-vehicle crash. This was on the Leo Frigo Bridge in Green Bay. All lanes of Interstate 43 over the bridge were closed in both directions for about 4 hours while this mess was cleared up. The crash happened about 4 in the morning, opened again about noon. Police say temperatures were in the single digits at the time, so city buses were sent to the scene to keep those involved warm. Parents and police in the town of Beloit are frustrated with drivers continuing to ignore and pass stopped school buses. In early February, a bus was involved in a hit and run. Since then, the district says nearly 90 incidents of people illegally passing buses have been reported. Chief Ron Northrup of the town of Beloit Police Department says a handful of these have resulted in tickets, and the people need to learn passing is wrong.
Probably the biggest thing that needs to happen is just the educational process to the drivers. That when they see a school bus and the school bus is flashing red lights, that means stop. Okay, you can't pass the bus.
School district says it's looking to add exterior cameras on some of the buses this spring.
Republican leaders say child abuse charges against one of Governor Evers' cabinet picks are unsettling and leaving her Senate confirmation in doubt. Evers chose Dawn Krim this year to lead the State Department of Safety and Professional Services. Krim was charged with felony child abuse in 2005 after court documents show she jabbed a pen into her then 5-year-old son's hand, causing it to bleed and left with several puncture marks. The case resulted in a deferred prosecution. Governor Evers says he learned of the charges while vetting her for the cabinet position.
She's an extraordinary human being, and I do stand behind her. And I look forward to having the opportunity to talk to the legislators who may have concerns.
Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says the new revelations will likely lead to questions from Republican senators about whether Krim can head the state agency. A Senate committee will hold a public hearing to discuss her confirmation next Wednesday.
Madison has been ranked one of the best places to live once again, this time in the website livability.com's top 100 best places to live survey. Madison ranked number 3 on the list, only beaten by Boise, Idaho and Raleigh, North Carolina. According to the site, Madison is ranked so high because it excels in nearly every category across the board, including economics, housing, amenities, demographics, education, and healthcare. The only other cities in Wisconsin making the list: Appleton at 56, Eau Claire at number 81. And still ahead tonight, celebrating Mardi Gras across the country, how Wisconsin celebrated Fat Tuesday with punchkis.
And dairy farmers from across the country are participating in the championship cheese contest. Find out how you can get a taste of the competition. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Welcome back. A cruise ship set sail from New York and was soon rocked by powerful winds and rough seas that sent passengers flying and causing injuries.
The Norwegian Escape began to rock violently during hurricane-force winds. This was Sunday night. Norwegian Cruise Line says the unexpected winds were estimated at 115 miles per hour In a statement, the company said several passengers and crew were injured and treated by the ship's medical staff. The company did not provide more details on the injuries. Madison hoping to purchase 20 new electric vehicles, part of a collaboration with the city and other partners, including Madison Gas and Electric and Madison College. A state grant is helping cover the cost. Right now, the city uses about 1,400 vehicles. That includes police cars, fire trucks, and sanitation vehicles. 30 of those are currently electric.
The best cheesemakers in the country are going head-to-head in the 2019 U.S. Championship Cheese Contest being hosted in Green Bay this year. More than 2,500 dairy products from cheesemakers in 35 states are competing in the three-day event at Lambeau Field. A total of 116 classes will be judged on the product's flavor, along with its body, texture, salt, color, finish, and packaging.
Cheesemakers take great pride in what they do. Wisconsin has a tremendous tradition of cheese making, and they'll be great contenders in this contest as well.
The competition began this morning at the Lambeau Field Atrium and runs through Thursday. The public is welcome to watch the competition as well as snack on some free samples.
That is a live look at the French Quarter, where things are still going strong. Would you expect anything less? In New Orleans right now, the streets have been filled all day for Fat Tuesday celebrations, also of course known as Mardi Gras, marking the final day of the Carnival season, which started back on January 6th. And bakeries across Wisconsin are celebrating with some punchkis, the Tuesday before Lent, actually known as Punchki Day, in communities where there is a large area of people of Polish descent. Now, when it comes to what's inside, plenty of butter, sugar, and eggs filled with your choice of fruit jams, custards, and French creams. I think we had a few of those.
We did, and they were quickly devoured.
Quickly gone, and looked a little warmer down there in the French Quarter, and
I think so.
We're going to at least start heading in the right direction by the weekend, right?
Slowly and steadily, yes. We're finally going to watch our temperatures get a little closer to average, which is all we're asking for right now, really. We're going to continue to see those temps climb to the mid to upper 30s. But again, our Doppler track right now is nice and quiet, so no concern for any sort of light snow or rainfall. Just our temperatures right now staying pretty cold for us overnight, but we are getting just a little better throughout the Midwest. Not really expecting anything to come through for us. We have high pressure off into the plains. That's sending us a westerly flow right now. It's keeping things just a little clear and a little cold. Partly cloudy sky for us overnight. Heading into Wednesday morning, our wind chills will be anywhere from 0 to 10, even 15 or 20 degrees below zero for us, depending on where you're at and how strong the wind speeds might pick up just a little bit. Our wind speeds anywhere from 8 to 15 miles per hour. And in those lower lying areas with a 15-mile-per-hour wind gust, it could feel quite frigid at times. Now, by tomorrow afternoon, though, our wind chills finally crawl above zero, so it does feel just a little better outside. Throughout the day, plan on a partly sunny sky. We start close to zero, and in the afternoon, we're expecting our temperatures to actually get a little closer to 20 for us, so a few degrees warmer than what we saw today. By Thursday morning, our temperatures will start in the single digits above zero, and in the afternoon, we're expecting our temperatures to be in the middle 20s for us. Looking ahead to the weekend, though, that's when our next big system is going to slide on through, crossing through the plains and up into the Midwest. We'll start off with showers throughout the afternoon and evening on Sunday. We may even see some heavy rainfall at times. Overnight, that rain will slowly transition over to some light snow, but that mixing happens early on Sunday, so we could have some icy road conditions for us early Sunday morning. Light snow tapering to flurries and then ending later on in the day on Sunday. Can make things just messy throughout the day on Sunday for us. So because of that system, we do have 2 alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. The rain developing later on in the day on Saturday again could be heavy at times, and some of our storm drains still blocked with snow and ice, so we may have some isolated flooding concerns for us Saturday evening. For Sunday, that rain will slowly transition over to snowfall, and then it will end later on in the day on Sunday. Overnight low of about 0 for us tonight. Again, those winds anywhere from 8 to 15 miles per hour. Still bitterly cold outside, but gradually improving. Close to 20 degrees for our high tomorrow with a partly sunny sky. We'll call it a little deceptive sunshine, though, because it certainly isn't going to feel warm outside. In the middle 20s for your Thursday high, we do have a slight chance for some light flurries for us coming through later on in the day on Thursday, just a little bit of a chance. We finally get into the middle 30s by Friday with a partly sunny sky. That's really where we should be. Saturday and Sunday, expecting a bit of a warm up there, but unfortunately it's not going to be weather that we can really enjoy. Saturday morning won't be too bad, but once the rain starts, it stays with us throughout the evening and overnight, as you can see through all of Sunday as well. Next week, though, our temperatures do look like they're going to stay just a little closer to average and not drop nearly as much.
I don't think we're asking for too much here.
No, just a little bit for Mother Nature would be great. It's been quite a chilly start to March.
All right, thank you.
Next day to the Packers hike ticket prices, but what will the fans get for their money? The story coming up in sports.
You're going to pay between $1 and $6 more per ticket to see the Packers at Lambeau Field this season. Per game prices now start at $111 for a regular season game in the end zone seats and ranging up to $142 a game for seats between the 20-yard lines. To buy Packers season tickets, the payment is due by March 30th. There's also a pay-as-we-play option to lock into tickets for the playoffs if you register online. Look for invoices for the current season ticket holders in the mail this week. So what kind of product will you get for that money? Well, there are some pretty big questions regarding some pretty big name players. Do you bring back guys like Randall Cobb and Clay Matthews? Can you get them at a reasonable price? That's GM Bryden Gutekunst's big decision.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously when you have great players in your organization that you end up moving on from, which we certainly haven't made any decisions about those guys yet, but it's always tough. But you're always trying to do what's best for your team in the upcoming season. So that's kind of how you do it. It's part of the business, and we're looking forward to 2019.
The Badger women's basketball team opens the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 against Penn State. The men's team will have senior night Thursday at the Kohl Center when Iowa comes to town for a 6 o'clock tip. That'll be the last home game for seniors Khalil Iverson, Charles Thomas, and Ethan Happ.
You know, I never thought that it would be to the, I guess, statistical standpoint that it is right now. But I always knew after that first redshirt year that, you know, I was going to have a special career here. You know, the fans that have watched me and the players that have played with me, I like them to remember, you know, how hard I worked to try and get better and to try and be a better player for our team.
In the Big Ten tonight, Purdue could have clinched at least a share of the conference title, but Minnesota wouldn't let that happen. The Gophers surprised the Boilermakers 73-69 in Minneapolis. Michigan State beat Nebraska, so now there's a three-way tie for first with 1 game to go. Purdue, Michigan, and Michigan State are all 15-4. Badger women's hockey team off to the WCHA Final Four this weekend in Minneapolis. Minnesota and Minnesota Duluth play the first semifinal at 2 at Ritter Arena Friday. Then the Badgers face Ohio State at 5. The winners play for the league championship Sunday afternoon at 2. Badgers head coach Mark Johnson says it's important for his team to focus on what his team can do.
You know, we've gone through the first hurdle where we beat St. Cloud in a couple games, and now we have the right to play Ohio State, and it should be a good matchup. I mean, most teams at this time of the year are playing their best hockey, and so the hard part is, you know, the team that wins is excited to go play for a championship. The team that loses has to come home, and so it's a good learning opportunity for our team, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
After a day off yesterday, the Brewers back on the field against the Colorado Rockies this afternoon. The best news of the day for Milwaukee, the pitching of Corbin Burns. He gets the start, he goes 3 innings, doesn't allow a run, strikes out 4 Rockies hitters. They're trying to convert Burns from a reliever to a starter this season, and today seems like that was a big step forward. Final score today, Brewers 1, Rockies nothing. Tyler Saladino drove in the only run, and we'll be right back.
Finally tonight, a story of two lifelong friends put in a difficult situation this weekend at a local high school regional basketball game.
According to a Facebook post, the Fenimore Golden Eagles upset the top-ranked Darlington Redbirds to advance in the playoffs, but it's what happened after the game that showed true sportsmanship. These childhood two close friends, Reed and Stryker, both seniors, played on opposing teams in this game. They knew one of their high school careers would be over that night. After the game, according to the Post, after both teams shook hands, they had this emotional embrace near the center of the court, which spilled over to several spectators as well. Very touching moment. Shows you how much it means, and great show of sportsmanship as well. Tough moments when these games come to an end and these careers end.
So fast.
Yeah, it's here and gone like that.
Who's cutting onions in here?
Final check. Let's change the subject.
Yes, in my corner, things are a little cold right now. We'll be close to 0 to start off the day tomorrow, but your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, each day steadily getting just a little better for us. We'll be close to 20 for tomorrow afternoon, and our wind chills will actually be above 0 in the afternoon. Partly sunny sky for us Wednesday and Thursday. A slight chance for some light snow Thursday afternoon. And then our next big weather system is going to come in Saturday night and last throughout the day on Sunday. Of course, our concern there, notice our temperatures warm quite a bit, so we'll be talking about rainfall Saturday afternoon and in the evening. That might lead to some isolated flooding spots and ice concerns Sunday morning.
Dana, thanks, and thank you for joining us.
Do something good, and we'll see you tomorrow.